So, ladies and gents, my fire doesn't even go on. It's March 20th, 2018. It's the spring equinox. My name is Audrey dimola. And as is tradition, doing a video on the morning of a book launch. Today, Wildlight Lives. I have a million emotions running through me right now. My spirit feels like it's everywhere. Just because this book has taken the most blood, had the most revelations, been the most difficult for me to produce. I never intended on writing Wildlight. I never do that with my work. Sit down and like, I'm gonna write a book now. I think back to my last book, Traversals, November 2014. A couple months after that, I was engaged, and a couple months after that, I called it off. And that is the official beginning of this journey. Over 3 years and 258 pages of poetry and prose. I left. I didn't know exactly why, and yet I knew exactly why. And I was walking out into the wild to try and remember the sound of my own name. It wasn't just calling off that relationship and the pain, disillusionment, guilt. Just the heaviness of that. It was realizing my chronic patterns. What I had done for over a decade. And what got played out through here. When I say on this cover that this is an alchemical document of revelation, oh my god, reclamation, revelation as well. I'm not lying. I originally wanted to release this book in September 2017, and a whole other fucking story got written. The end of this book was written. I kept trying to work on it then, and working on it slowly, pouring through all these notebooks, like over 10 notebooks over the course of these years, and kept kind of getting squashed by it. And I realized now the book wouldn't let me finish it because I was still a part of the story. It's like these words from my soul and myself always knew who I was supposed to let go of, where I was supposed to go, the truth that I was supposed to tell, the way that I was supposed to liberate myself. And supposed to is not a great word, but the resonance of that, what feels right for you inside your spirit. And that's also what this journey is about. Grounding and coming back into myself, my own energy, my own power. The reason why I'm in this house right now, this apartment that's mine, in Astoria, NYC. Okay. This book is one of the reasons that I'm still here. And now I'm worried that I'm not recording and I'm gonna take an awkward pause to check. This is the real life, ladies and gentlemen. No slick edges here. This book is one of the reasons I'm still here. And it is a representative of the triumph of the holy wild spirit over death, over heartache, over grief, over ruin, over illness and dis-ease, depression, anxiety, loss, It means so many things to have this in my hands. And after what I went through this past fall, specifically October, it was like the fires were really lit. I knew I needed to push this out. Got lost again. Almost lost this thread, and that's something else that I just want to mention. I feel like so many of us see incredible things popping up around us all the time, and we should share the journey to that and say, you know, this is here, this is incredible, but this took everything. Losing faith in it, in myself, wanting to not exist, getting lost in so many awful side streets and distractions, darkness. You know, this almost didn't happen a million times because I wasn't letting myself happen. I'm just going to, you know, end that trail. And the next date I chose was Valentine's Day. So I got engaged on Valentine's Day 2015. And it's healing the wound and closing the gate. And I decided to take a Greyhound on the night of Valentine's Day by myself to the west that had been calling me to the desert, to Santa Fe. And coincidentally, I got the first ever hard copy of Wildlight to my door on Valentine's Day, hours before I left. So it came with me to Santa Fe. And this book exists in that first form because I was bleeding for it. It needed to happen. You know, I have a full-time job, mental illness, struggles, anxiety, you know, tons of relationship sadness, issues, releasing, closing. Everything can derail you, and it's how resilient is the spirit to return to it? How much do you want to see this in your hand? I know that that's what we're here to do, to tell our stories, to transform that into alchemical gold. The fire in this, in me. And it's a strange thing to sit here and it's the day of the launch, right? And in some ways it feels anticlimactic because I've been living with this book for so long inside myself, going through it, and then just through this like rapid energy of the editing process, carrying it around with me, going to Santa Fe with it, having it in my bag. And this copy is actually going to be ceremonially burned later, which sounds insane, but I feel it's the most fitting way to honor this and close it formally, give it back to the fire, because it is poetry and prose from inside the fire. It's a spring equinox, even though it's not gorgeous and sunny like it was yesterday. It's beginning. It's a beginning that any of us can have at any moment. There's a quote that Jeff Buckley snagged from the Book of Runes, and it's, in the life of the spirit, you're always at the beginning. And so when I felt this book was finally over, I knew at the same time it was a call to the next. A call to stand in this self, that all of this had to happen for me to reclaim and see and understand and feel and love myself in a way that I had no idea how to do at all, when this journey began. And that's what this is. Looking at this is looking in a mirror and finally seeing myself. And understanding that I would do anything for that girl, to protect her and honor her journey and her voice and her words, her power, to stand in that power. Some songs have been coming to me. And a message that keeps coming through is, my life is the fierce prayer that I sing. Wild light is the fierce prayer that I sing. Going ever outwardly, trying to find this love, not looking at myself, always giving outward. One relationship after another, one heartbreak amalgamated after another. that black hole that opens up in my stomach. I know how to fill it now with the wilderness that I am, with the desert, with the ocean, with the mountaintops. The wilderness. And this is my wilderness. This is what I walked through. And it's my hope, not even a hope, I know that the power in this book will find its way to the people who need it, who are listening for it, who can feel this, and perhaps even this book finds its way to people who aren't ready for it yet, and it'll sit on the shelf for years and they'll open it up later. That's happened to me too. Maybe others will, like my beautiful friend Sid has my last book, Traversals, and it's all beat up and it's got feathers in it, flowers and leaves. I wanted to end up like my copy of Women Who Run with the Wolves, completely battered in my bag at all times. This is the legend. And to know that I met this date and I'm standing here after everything. We're going to celebrate the formal release in the Story NYC on Saturday. But for right now, this is a moment for me. And my soul reflected back to me. Wild light. My life is the fierce prayer that I sing. My life is the fierce prayer that I sing. Will you sing for the mountaintops? I will sing for the mountaintops. Will you sing for the ocean side? I will sing for the ocean side. Will you sing for the desert cliff? I will sing for the desert cliff. Will you sing for the wilderness? I am the wilderness. I am the holy wilderness. I am the wilderness. My life is the fierce prayer that I sing. Wildlight is the fierce prayer that I sing.